What's going on, Taurus? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having an amazing week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Taurus, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So Taurus, every time I get ready to do that, I think I have it in my head, but this is your general weekly spread, Taurus. I had maybe two more to do. 2-3 more. I got to get it figured out by then, Taurus. So, but yeah, this is your general weekly spread. So whenever you come across this video, Taurus, there may be some messages for you. So just keep that in mind. And then just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the shenanigans with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems. Feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Taurus. So Taurus, with this spread, we're just going to be kind of going with the flow here. But I'm going to pull a few oracle cards, and then we'll get some more details with the tarot. But just so you know, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then lastly, the decks that I'm working with, I'll include links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Taurus. Interesting. All right, Taurus. So you got the 7th card of Aries here, which is the kerosene card. We about to get lit. Hold on now. With the kerosene card, this is a card of aggressive, accelerate, ignite, determined, fuel, encourage, sustain, powerful, stimulate, volatile situation, provoke, watch out, unpredictable, combustible, propel, and hot. In Taurus, just off the bat, the one thing that kind of sticks out to me, just because I'm thinking that, Mars is in Cancer right now, and then, Mercury's in your sign right now, but it's going to be going retrograde next week, depending on when you're watching this, on the 21st of April. And so I'm just thinking with the volatile situations, the aggressive, the provoking, unpredictable, I just say keep eyes on that from yourself and from others. Just if that's something that we've noticed, if feelings have been if feelings have been a little intense, or maybe you've been feeling kind of vulnerable, maybe something's gone down, and maybe you're just feeling it's just not the day, just something to be mindful of over these. And we have and I'm going to talk about this all next week on the planetary spreads, but we also have this hybrid solar eclipse that's going to be coming up on the 19th, between the 19th and the 20th of April. And there's going to be a lot of big changes that will be going down. It's not going to be a drastic one. It'll take over the course of maybe a few months to kind of really get settled in. But I just say, just something to be mindful of. We want to watch our feelings, and just be aware of where we're at on that aspect. Now, I do feel for some others, if we've been thinking about maybe getting started on something, whether this may be going to look for a new job, or maybe starting up a business, or maybe even starting up a hobby, or it's something along those lines. I feel this kerosene card is come on, Taurus, let's get some, let's light this, light that, or get some fire on this fuel. Yeah, get some fire on this fuel here, Taurus, and just start to get things going, and I feel that whatever this is that you maybe, if you're thinking about this, because maybe one reason that we might be kind of dragging our feet on it, if that was resonating with you, it may be just because we're thinking about all of the things that are going to come along with it. If we're thinking of a business, we might think of okay, how am I going to get this product? Who are going to be my clients? If I'm going to need a venue, website, people, Don't let that stress you out. The nice thing about, while Mercury's in your sign for a little while, well, you're going to be in there for quite a while, even being retrograde, this is a time where the mentality is a little more kind of slower pace, you know, and this, you can be a little more, kind of take your time with the stuff, be a little more, build this thing over time. And then Jupiter's going to be entering your sign next month, about the middle of May. So this is going to be a good time to think about any sort of, and this is for everyone, thinking about any sort of like long-term investments or anything along those lines, you know, whether it be in, you know, actual, maybe in money, maybe, you know, with everything that's going down, you know, maybe in money, you know, maybe in whole, and again, it could be like a hobby, this could be whatever it is, Taurus. But I just feel like that if we've been kind of sitting on maybe some ideas, or maybe wanted to get a routine started, anything along those lines, let's get motivated, let's get pumped. But let's also get some tarot on this and get a little more details on this, Taurus. Yeah. All right. All right, Taurus. So we have the Lovers here, and we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay. So I do feel like for some of us, you know, especially if we're thinking about, if we're sitting on an idea, you know, or of a business or a hobby or whatever it is that we might be sitting on. I feel like with this Knight of Swords popping up in reverse, you know, don't be afraid to meet the challenge, Taurus, you know, especially if this is something where maybe you're new at this thing, you know, maybe we're worried about, I don't know, maybe like failing, or maybe not being as good at it as we want to be. And listen, if this is something new, of course you're not going to be like a Picasso at it, but that doesn't say that you won't get to that level. But it's going to be one of those things that we have to try first. And we got to listen to, you know, as well, Taurus, you know, just like, if this is something that has been on your mind for a while, you know, the Lovers for me is like a connection with your higher self. This is higher self winking at you right here. And how interesting. Your ruler, Venus, just entered Gemini not too long ago. This is Gemini's card. And I feel like that this is really, you know, for some of us, you know, just like, if this has been on your mind for a while, then there may be a reason for that. Explore that. See what this inkling, or if this has been just like kind of like just like, you know, just if this has been just sort of like cycling on your mind, give it a try. See what happens. You know, I'm also just thinking too, talking about your ruler being in Gemini, this may be a good time for some of us, if we are thinking about those things, you know, getting out there and socializing, especially if, you know, if we're looking for a business, you know, maybe we might want to think about partnering up, because maybe that's something, if you're nervous about maybe an area in this that you may feel kind of weak in, then maybe find someone else that can pull up that slack, and then you can kind of, you know, do some co-creation, because that's going to be a big thing that's going to be like really important. I feel like getting in the idea of it this year, but really for like the next 20 years, that's going to be the name of the game. You know, it's co-creating as often as you can. Collaboration is key here. But you know, just any kind of thing to kind of get this further along may help too, you know, and just like socializing, networking. And even if this is not something that we feel that we need a partner for, maybe even just like using, you know, not using, but like talking to people and just kind of like working with them as a soundboard, you know, bouncing some ideas. It's just like, hey, I'm kind of stuck with this thing, what would you suggest? And it's just like, oh, blah 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 blah, you know, look at you working in Empress energy. But just something to think about, Taurus. But yeah, I think that's all I got there. All right, let's get some more on that. Let's see what else we got here, Taurus. All right, interesting. Okay, so we have the Hermit here upright, and then we have one of your cards, the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And so, you know, Taurus, with this Six of Pentacles, you know, I feel like that maybe for some of us, this may be, if we're thinking about, if we're kind of like at a crossroads here, you know, or just kind of like weighing our options. I would say with the Six of Pentacles popping up in reverse, if we're not sure about this decision, you know, make a pros and cons list. You know, something, you know, like think about, okay, if I invest this energy, this amount of resources, blah, 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 is this going to give back to me over time? You know, with the Hermit, take a moment. Don't feel, you know what, maybe this is something where, you know, Taurus, maybe on the another flip side just kind of popped up to me. Maybe this is something where we feel that there is a lot of pressure to get something figured out right now. And I feel that maybe with this thing, if you're uncertain with this right now, you know, maybe this is like I don't know if this is like an offer maybe, or something along those lines. You know, let's say this is like a job offer and you're just like, they're like, hey, need you to make this decision. Like, the job offer is yours, but you got to make this decision right now. It's like, well, if it's mine, can I think about it for a second? You know, kind of weigh my options here, because yes, this was one of my interests. You may have had your resume up for a couple people, or, you know, or maybe if this is like a person who wants to go into business with you, but you're not sure of the model, you know, what we're doing, if this is something you're even passionate about. Take this time, Taurus, you know, if that's something that's resonating with you. Pause for a second, you know, figure out if this is, you know, listen to your body, you know, listen to the signals. If this is something that is speaking to you, then absolutely, you know, we can discuss further details. But that is something, you know, that's interesting. Another little detail. Don't feel like that anyone has to rush you into like a situation, because if you make this decision and you feel uncertain, then it's just going to throw you out of whack. You know what I mean, Taurus? And so, you know, make sure that you have that security, you know, that you have, you know, all of your, especially if this is some kind of like business or anything along those lines, or, you know, any kind of like, you know, collaboration, then yeah, just kind of let's sit down, let's have a discussion, you know, let's work out some of these details here, you know, figure this stuff out. So that's something else, you know, if you're more so on that kind of end, Taurus. All right, hold up, Taurus. Ooh, yeah. All right. Look at you, King. All right. So last little bit here, Taurus. You got the King of Wands here. And you know, the King of Wands, he's the type that when it comes to his growth, where he's all about it. You know, this is something where he's got to feel, you know, this has to make sense for him. This has to resonate. And so again, if you need to do any sort of like deep dive, you know, that, you know, do some research before you make this decision, the King of Wands is definitely the type. He's going to get a game plan, you know, before, you know, we get anything down. And, you know, for some others, you know, if we're just nervous about maybe starting up something. This could be maybe you here. This Knight of Swords could be the energy that you're picking up. Maybe hit yourself up a King of Swords, someone who can kind of help guide you through this. You know, this is the King of Wands is Sagittarius energy. They're ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter's a planet of just like higher learning. And so, you know, that's going on to Sag energy. And so that's all that to say, you know, don't be, you know, be open to the idea of reaching out to someone who may have, who can instill some knowledge to you, Taurus, and help you get you further along, you know, help ease this decision along here, so maybe things won't be so arduous for you when you're going on this pursuit. So, but yeah, I feel like either way, you know, whatever's going down here, get excited, you know, because that's another thing with Sag energy. You know, they're just boundless optimism. And I feel like any kind of new opportunities, anything along those lines, that's worthy of just getting excited about. So, all right, Taurus, let's get another oracle card on the mix. Oh. Alrighty, Taurus, let's see what else we have here. Interesting. Okay, so we have interesting. Okay, so we got the second card of Scorpios here, which is the olive branch. And with the olive branch, this is a card of truce, surrender, giving in, come to terms, suspend, lull, de-escalate, make amends, peace offering, winding down, halt, reprieve, ceasefire, treaty, agree to disagree. So with this, Taurus, this kind of adds a little bit more to that, little more to that fire there. If we did get in a situation, because again, Mars is in Cancer, and that kind of makes emotions run a little hot. You know, it's a weird place for Mars to be. You know, Mars is not quite technically Mars is kind of in fall in Cancer. You know, the energy's a little weaker there. It takes a little. It's an interesting energy to integrate. So if we did get into some sort of disagreement, you know, some sort of like argument, whatever this may look like, you know, or something along those lines, you know, I feel that with this olive branch, if this is something that we can make, you know, find peace or make amends with, I say give it a try, Taurus, you know. If not, you know, I feel like if things have gone so far south, you know, that you don't think that there's any way to, what's the word I'm looking for here, to remedy this situation, then it may be something where we may just have to just thinking with the surrender and, you know, kind of like making peace with it. Just like, well, hopefully maybe down the line, you know, if this person started something, if you started something, you know, however this is looking, you know, we send it love and light, and maybe down the line when our vibrations are matching again, maybe we can try to fix this thing again. But if not, then this gives us something to reflect on as well, you know. No, however this might have translated, it gives everyone a chance to just kind of, you know, think about boundaries and just a whole lot of things, Taurus. But I also feel with this, if we did get in something, you know, even if this is, let's say someone did do us wrong and, you know, you were in the right and all these things, where I get that, Taurus, if the situation has passed, you know, we don't want to get in this place where we're holding on to that and letting that become like where we're just reliving that and staying in that heat all the time, because that's a weird place to operate over time. It's just going to wear you out and just kind of just burn your energy out and really kind of mess with your manifestation and all of that, your connection with higher self. So yeah, that's something too. You know, if we're just holding on to something, let's try to reflect on this. Let's hermit and then move on from that. But let's get a little bit more on this olive branch here, Taurus. See what this is about. Taurus. Let's see what we have here. Interesting. Okay, so we have the Fool upright, we have the Four of Swords upright, and then we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So I do feel that with the Queen of Cups, let's talk about her first, because with the Queen of Cups popping up in reverse, just kind of piggybacking off if we were holding on to a situation like an argument, or thinking about maybe how a situation was unfair, something along those lines. I feel like, again, don't let that get to a place where it's keeping you in a rut, Taurus, if that's something that's resonating with you. If that happened, even for the Queen of Cups, a situation like that where it may not have been ideal how something has gone down, that's not going to, she values all of her experiences, you know, the fun ones and the not so fun ones, but they all share value in this chalice here that she has. because they've molded her into the wise figure that she, that's standing before you, Taurus. And so this is something where with this Four of Swords, taking this time again, if that's something that's bothering you, to reflect on this. And let's say if this is something where, just even thinking with like a job, let's say we had all this, we had all this heat, we had all this excitement, and then maybe things didn't quite come to terms, or maybe didn't quite work out how we thought. That's not a defeat for you or a failure for you. That's just not the opportunity. If anything, that was just getting you ready for this new opportunity that's getting ready to come here, the one that's really meant for you. But we have to keep, sometimes we have to go through a couple of things to get us molded for that situation. And so this to me kind of feels like, Taurus, it's just like if we've just been, even if things have just been kind of like, just not been going your way, maybe, if we've been kind of just like, maybe there's been just sort of like, just kind of like back to back, just sort of like mishaps possibly, or maybe just seems like luck hasn't been your way, or whatever that may be. I really do feel like, one, don't let that, again, keep you from getting back up and trying this thing out, figuring out, really just like kind of, just, really Four of Swords, Hermit, taking time, reflecting on whatever situations have gone down, if we've just been kind of down on our luck, see what the themes are and what ways we can adjust. King of Wands, get down to the root of this thing, and then let's start getting back on, back to getting balanced again. But when Queen of Cups is in reverse, this is something where we do need to kind of surrender to these emotions and feel this stuff and navigate this. And let's say if we are feeling something, Taurus, and we can't quite seem to pinpoint a cause, let's say, for example, because sometimes that happens. Listen, my son's in Cancer, so I'm all very, very attuned to emotions, but if we've just been feeling in a funk, and can't quite seem to put our finger on it or something along those lines, don't let that consume you, Taurus, because that's not who you are. These emotions, if this is something that's resonating with you, these emotions that you may be feeling, they don't define you. You're not, it's not like, because sometimes we get into this place of like, oh, I'm upset, I'm pissed, I'm this, I'm frustrated, but that's not what you are. It's just what you're experiencing at this time. And then we can take that emotion as an indicator. So it's like, okay, how do I assuage this feeling? This is something's trying to signal. Higher self is trying to get my attention. So how can I navigate through this? The Queen of Cups is experiential wisdom. That's how Cancerians navigate through this realm. We learn from our feelings and all this stuff and reflect from the past to navigate in the future here. It builds who you are. It makes you a King of Wands. So let's see what else we got there, Taurus. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So you got the moon here, Taurus. And with the moon card popping up, I feel like that with this moon, maybe some of us were at this place where I almost feel like that maybe just like kind of how this kerosene and olive branch is, like maybe some of us is like we've been trying to figure out what our path is, what our purpose is, what really calls to us, and what just gets us out of bed, gets us enthusiastic about just tackling life, And maybe with this moon card, maybe some of us have been in this place where it's just like we've been kind of forcing it, been trying different things, and just nothing seems to be working. Well, I feel kind of like with the moon card here, I feel like that this is saying, to just really kind of to embrace that. If we've just been seeming like things have been kind of burning on both ends and we just can't seem to get ahead here, pause for a second, and and just evaluate where you're at on this journey, because it like what I'm almost kind of getting is like it's just like, it's like there's this doubt maybe of if this is the right path for you, or and then if that's the case, it's just like, well crap, like all this time has possibly, this time has gone by, like, well, how am I going to possibly make up for this, then that adds the fuel to the fire, that gets this stress, and then it gets in this weird place. But here's the thing, if that's something that may be resonating with you. If you've been thinking that, like, if we get into that panic place of like, oh crap, I've been on this wrong path all this time, because maybe this was something where you went to school to be a doctor and then you come to find out that you don't really care for it and that you really want to be, oh, I don't know, maybe you want to work with horses, be a equestrian something or another. And it's just like, how do you, like, what do we do with that? Well, here's the thing. Because I was just actually talking with a buddy about this. If you've achieved, think of how much you've achieved up until this point, not kind of like not really listening to, I don't want to say not listening to your intuition, but following a path that you thought that was meant for you as opposed to your intended path. Look at how much you got accomplished on this path, and this was one that you just kind of like forced into. Now imagine what you can achieve when you go down the path that you want to, Taurus. The abundance that could come from that. I hope that that's making sense. But I just feel like when we get into this place of, what's my path, is this really the right thing? Then we get into this, we feel like we get in a panic. There's nothing to panic about. This is something, just kind of breathe through this and just take this one step at a time. Get a game plan. This is not like, you don't need to like quit your job overnight and just like completely overhaul your life. We can do this in structures here. So just something to think about. And I also feel like too with this moon card, because the moon can be a card of just like fantasies, illusions. And if we've been wanting to like kind of like make a move, or just like, and we've been just kind of been sitting on this heat, but just been maybe a little nervous. I feel like that if this is something that you're passionate about, that this is exciting you, but maybe we're nervous about the security, whatever this is, I feel like the moon is saying, don't be afraid to take that leap, because behind the moon, the next card is the sun, and that's your happiness. And all the moon does, Taurus, is reflect the sun. This is the six of Pentacles here. This is the moon in Taurus. So see, the moon was already ahead of you, Taurus, was already reflecting your light, but now you just have to see that too, that you can, this is absolutely, you can shine as bright as you want, and there can be so much abundance that could come along with it. So all right, Taurus, let's get one more oracle card in this mix here. Wrap up this story. Ready? Interesting. I like that. So you got the fourth card of Geminis here, which is the hammock card. And with the hammock card, this is a card of rest, relax, time off, pause, suspend, sleep, supported, meditate, inactive, recovery, find relief, vacation, waiting, suspended between two things, in limbo, self-actualization. And Taurus, this is kind of what we've been sort of like kind of bouncing between this whole reading here. If we have like a big decision on our plate right now and we are not sure where to go, take some time, meditate on it, rest, go get yourself a hammock, go chill. The weather's starting to starting to change here. Let's get out there. Get outside, Taurus. Yeah. If we haven't been getting outside, get outside. I feel like for that's beneficial for all of us, but I feel like especially for your sign, just because there's something about Venus, and I think of the Empress, and just like your energy, you're an earth sign. It's just, I feel like you could probably find some of your best inspirations probably outside. I mean, just amongst the earth, just kind of just like sitting, taking in the air, just all of that, being amongst, But this is an interesting little mix here. It does seem like that maybe, like if we just been sitting on that, meditate on this. If we've been just kind of stressed out and not sure to be able to figure this out, again, pause for a second. If we keep trying to burn the wick at both ends here, it's going to catch up to us. I always like talking about the King of Wands in the Thoth deck, because for me, his energy, he's got so much heat. But if he's just going just all over the place, just expending energy, that's the quickest way to get to a Hanged Man situation. And Hanged Man is a card of surrender, of thinking from a new perspective, of getting it back in your Zen place. So, just... Yeah, I feel like really there's a lot of emphasis here, Taurus. I feel like before maybe we're taking like this another, your next step here to really just kind of maybe pause and just kind of figure out, get a game plan. Even just thinking with the Hermit. The Hermit is Virgo's card. Virgo's very much about getting detail. Oh, and just thinking with Virgo and Gemini, just be really mindful too, just because that's both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury. So, and there's just a lot of activity going on, getting ready to happen in your sign. The sun's about to move to your sign here in about a week or two. Mercury's doing a lot in your sign right now, and then like I was saying, Jupiter's going to be moving in your sign. So this is going to be an interesting time for you, Taurus. So in between this, what you're doing, just making sure that we're being mindful of our energies, okay? But let's get some more tarot on this. Because this kerosene almost feels like two, Taurus. Just like if we've just been sort of like going for a while, maybe a little frustrated with whatever in life, maybe with where our journey's going, maybe with people, and if we've just been kind of going for a while, I feel like at the rate things are going, this is like weird, like not this, and this is not to scare you, but it's just like I feel like a tower moment can happen where it's just like the universe is to be like, yo, we need to higher self is just like, hey, let's pause for a second, trying to give you all these signs here that we need to take a break, but just pay attention to that, Taurus. Let's see what we got here, Taurus. There you are, Taurus. Knight of Pentacles. So with this Knight of Pentacles, I do feel like that maybe for some of us, I feel like this is time to slow down a little bit, just like the Knight of Pentacles is normally, just because he's so grounded, he's considered the slowest knight of the deck. But I feel like in this instance, just like, I don't know if this is just with the, because Taurus, if we've been feeling a little out of whack, it's just, there's just energy shifts happening right now. I know we just got done doing some stuff out of March here, we thought, got like a little bit of a reprieve, but things are still going to be kind of cranking here for a little while. There's still going to be a lot of things to adjust. So, don't feel like that you have to rush at this time, because I know with everything that's going down, with all the news and things along those lines, if you're watching other tarot readers, maybe there's like all this abundance and things like that, like hurry. And it's just like, I feel like hurry in the sense of like, think about, just like I was just talking with someone about this. It's not about necessarily having all the answers right now. It's just thinking in that direction. Just like getting a game plan, just like getting some details, starting a list. It's just like, what does future Taurus look like? What do you want to be doing over the next 10 years, 20 years? And you don't have to get this figured out all right now. It can just start, what do you want to do tomorrow? Just like, but what does taking a moment and figuring this stuff out. Don't feel like that you have to, this is not a time to be reactive right now. This is a time to be proactive and really sit with this. And just like how I was talking with that Mars and being in Cancer right now, this is great energy we can take that aggressive, kind of emotional energy and turn that to our advantage. Because the nice thing about Cancerian energy is that when we do find something that we're really passionate about, we're going to pour our all into it. We're gonna nurture that thing until it's I don't even got words for it. It's so incredible. And so use that to your advantage. What speaks to you? What gets you? What gives you like this visceral response? What's your passion? And then go for that. Let's see what else we have. Let's see what else we got here. Taurus. Got little treats here. All right, so we got 8 of Pentacles upright, 10 of Cups in reverse, and then you got the Page of Wands here. Any more? All right, Taurus, we're about to switch back over if I can find my mouse. There we go. So, Taurus. Last little bit here. It's really with this Page of Wands, 8 of Pentacles here that's popping up. I feel like this is a time to really think about what things inspire you right now. This is a time, like, you see here how this person's kind of, they're really putting in a lot of work here. They're really, he's got a hammer and chisel for he's taking his time here. And that's that's where I feel like that, take your time, Taurus. I feel like that's kind of the name of the game for you right now. Really take a moment and figure out what happiness looks like for you with this 10 of Cups here. What does that big picture look like? Are you on track to this? 10 of Pentacles, or excuse me, 10 of Pentacles too, but 10 of Cups, this is what we work towards. This is, where we may never achieve it, but we're going to get close to it. We work, 8 of Pentacles towards this thing. But this is something where really take the time and be mindful of where you're going, Taurus. What is this really, where you're at on your journey right now? Is this really where you want to be? Do you like this? Is this give you, and not even just in a sense of just like making you feel secure, because like that's one aspect that's very important, but we want to be fulfilled as well in this. It's more than that. And again, that's not me saying you quit your job. If you want to hang on to that, like, cool. But then working in some other things to complete this happy picture here, because it's more than, when you think about the Pentacles, it's more than just the finances. This is about your health. This is about your manifestation. This is about your resources, your material stuff. So just this is a good time to just kind of sit back and game plan, map out really map your life out here. Take this, and you know what, because I'm getting ready to do your, I'm curious to see how your solar return video is going to be. That's the yearly videos that I do, and I'll be doing that here, releasing that around your birthday season. But get a game plan. This is a time, and just kind of sit back and, everything's going to start making sense, I feel like, Taurus. But I feel like we do need to just kind of pause and just kind of be with ourselves for a second. So, all right, I'll leave that there. I hope that made sense, because this was an interesting reading, Taurus. But it's curious, because it's just like your sign in this now. It's your sign is considered the slowest sign of the deck, of the zodiac. Just because you're so rooted with the earth. I feel like that's what it is. And I feel like that because when you think about Aries coming in, just Aries energy coming in with that rush of spring, it's just like, I was even just going on a walk and just looking at how everything's starting to bloom and just like really coming to life. So Aries brings in that energy, and then when yours comes in, this is when we pause, when we slow down and we take a moment and realize just like what beauty is around us. That's why I feel like how to really appreciate everything, you know, this abundance that is just been that we're blessed with. And so I feel like don't forget that, Taurus. That's one of your amazing abilities, and that's we all can take a note from that. Slowing down sometime and really taking in, and because that's how the Empress does it. That's how that abundance comes in. Because if we don't take, it's one thing to build all this stuff up and things, and it's just like woo. But if no one's there to enjoy it, then what's the point? It's just there. So yeah. We're just bonding all the time, Taurus. I'm with it. But if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share this, Taurus. If you notice someone, it's time to pause and slow down for a little bit. Absolutely. Let's take a moment. And it's finding a balance. Even just looking at your oracle cards here. You got a cardinal sign, the initiator. You got a fixed sign, they keep it going, and then the mutable sign is the one that's adaptable. So I feel like this is really getting harmony back in your life, Taurus. And then subscribe. You know, while you're on this, while you're relaxing, subscribe, kick back, and while you're just enjoying your time in the sun, you know, maybe scrolling through a couple videos, and then hit that bell button. You'll get notified when your lunar return comes out, and all those other videos that come out for you, Taurus. And then, something else for you to do. I'm on this app. It's a meditation app, Insight Timer. I'm working on some other social media stuff too, so hang tight there. But I'm on this app, Insight Timer. I've been on it for a while. And I created a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's a group to drop like positive affirmations and encouraging messages for everyone. You know, just any ways, you know, you think of any, you know, while you're becoming all wise and getting the game plan there, you know, drop some nuggets of wisdom, you know, let us know how your journey's going, you know, and what you've appreciated today. Take a moment today, Taurus. If you haven't, you know, go out there, go outside today and just like be in nature. Just go do it. But but that group again is it's on the meditation app Insight Timer, and the group is called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And you know, eventually I want to do something with like a, you know, void meditation with the Queen of Cups, like void of course time or something along those lines. But yeah. And then last thing, if you have any Cancer in your placements, because you know you always seem to pull Cancer's hot Cancer tickets. Not that you need one, but if you happen to have any Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, wherever, Taurus, come on over to my other channel, The Chariot Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, absolutely talk about look at you, lunar shenanigans, and the Queen of Cups. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you a surprise card here so I can get you out of here, Taurus. Absolutely. Because Taurus, look at you, 9 of Pentacles. Because this is, hold on, your pre-Empress energy. Look at you. Because with the 9 of Pentacles, this is a time to get that game plan, Taurus, to focus on what's going to sustain you. You know, what's going to, and I mean in every aspect of your life, mind, body, spirit. You know, take some time and really, really sit with that and figure out where you want to be. Oh, I love it. In Taurus, absolutely. Because what better way to do that than to just pour a lot of love into yourself right now, Taurus. I love that you got the love card up right. And take some time to appreciate all the lovely things out there, Taurus, that you maybe have even just in your space in general, but then even take it bigger, you know, for the bird songs, for the warm sun, for the breeze on your body, all of that, earth on your feet. Kick your kicks off, and you know, get your feet on the earth, and just really just go for it, Taurus. I'm with that. So let's leave that there. You stay safe out there, and raise your vibration to the roof there, Empress, because it's you're getting in your energy right now. This is gonna be, I really feel like with Jupiter getting ready to enter your sign, this is going to be, because you know Jupiter stays in a sign for a year. This is going to be an abundant time for you, and at least a good time to get, because you know Jupiter is like just always just abundance. But now now that Taurus slows that energy down some, we can get something that's going to work for us over time here. You know, really get yourself set up for success, Taurus. So work with this energy. And if you are on a if you have like a Jupiter in Taurus, for example, as a placement, you know, that's a Dell placement. You know, you're getting ready to be on a Jupiter return. So look into that, you know, see get a game plan, see what we can get ready for that energy. And I will catch you on the next one later.